Elmo is 3 years old. His op is a rock named Rocco. Leave Elmo alone. He got enough beef already. Joyhdae.
Ryan. Virgo Season!
Some of y'all are going to jail. Ain't got nothing to do with me.
I know I'm not going to jail. Why?
But some of
Who's
y'all are
y'all?
going to jail.
Who's y'all?
Y'all who took out them PPP loans and thought that y'all was going to get away scot-free because the government ain't come after y'all. They coming after y'all now. So some of y'all is going to jail.
Subpoenas, IRS sending letters talking about run me my 40,000, all sorts of crazy stuff.
Free money is never free. And some of y'all are learning that lesson right now.
I was tempted, but I was like, knowing my luck, I'd be under the jail already.
And I'm very happy that you chose not to, because this podcast would not be happening, because you'd be getting ready to go to jail. And I don't really, as our great brother Cat Williams said to Shannon Sharpe, that went right over his head, you have an affinity for dealing with losers. I don't deal with losers. And I don't deal with criminals. So it would have been a done deal. That's what I'm gonna say. It would have been some of y'all going to jail. Happy New Year.
Hi, Joyhdae.
Hey, Ryan.
You look a little dapper today.
In my dap hoodie. First of all,
at you.
We are officially in Black History Month, so I figured why not come on here with a little, Black excellence, I guess.
Repping for the Harlem.
Always, because that's where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm from.
That's not where you live, though. But
and
I digress. Something.
You love bringing attention to things that ain't got nothing to do with nothing else. I'm from Harlem, ride or die, okay? I don't care where I live. I'm from, do you hear this accent? This is a New York accent through and through.
I know, because when they be trying to transcribe all of your words, it'd be like, nah, we don't speak the Harlem English. We don't.
They don't. Even when I try to transcribe my words, I'd be like, I definitely said this. I don't know how you got that. Get out. Stop.
Oh, man.
How was your week?
My week was good. Can't complain. I mean, I guess I could complain, but I'm not going to. But had a good therapy session this week. Weather's been pretty nice in New York. Can't complain. I won't complain. There it is.
Has the weather been nice? I mean, I guess it hasn't snowed or really rained.
It's February. It's February now. February.
Yes.
Listen, girl. This has always been a point of contention for me ever since I was a child. Why they spell this word like this? One, and how the hell do you say it? February. It's not February.
Yes, it is. Okay, if you ask Google to say it for you, she's going to tell you February.
Alexa, how do you say February?
Okay, but which language do you want me to translate to?
English.
Not Alexa clocked out.
Alexa was like, nah, you asked me in English and you want me to tell you how to say it in English? All right, whatever.
Alexa clocked out. Alexa said, not today, sir. Not today. We're not.
You and your nonsense.
We're not doing this today.
You and your nonsense. How was your week?
You know what? My week was good. It was decent. I had a ladies' night last week, but some of my friends came over.
I saw that. You didn't tell me nothing about it. I'm here texting you. Hey, what we doing about the show? Hey, I have this crazy idea. Meanwhile, you in the middle of your ladies' night not saying nothing. I'm sorry.
Because I was having anxiety. I suffer from anxiety. So I was already anxious about having people in my house because I'm very particular about my space. But it ended up being a great night. They want to do it every month. I told them they're all crazy. They must be on that sugar booger.
It don't always have to be in your house. It could be everybody else.
That's where they want it. No.
Why not?
I said we could do other spaces in other people's homes. And they told me, no.
Because you got that killer Manhattan view. That's why.
I'm trying to find a speakeasy. Speakeasies are making a comeback, like late jazz nights and stuff. And I'm like, yo, let's find a speakeasy, but we could be sexy. And they said our favorite speakeasy is your home. And I'm not. I love them. The answer at this moment is no. We're not doing this every month. That's just not physically possible for me. But I had a great time. Cash has to make an appearance because he's under the table trying to attack my feet. But we had a great time. It was great having some of my friends over. If I do it again in like a couple of months, I'll probably expand on my invitation list. But I kept it very, very small this time around just because my anxiety could not handle it. So
expand on your invitation list as in it won't be a ladies' night anymore. It'll be a people night.
It'll be a people's night.
People's night. All right. Nice,
It'll be a
nice, nice. I'll
people's
show
night.
up. I'll show up.
Yes, where people are
Mm.
invited and we'll figure it all out. So
Very
that's
nice.
where we
All
are.
right.
Yes.
Very nice.
Fun times. This week was interesting in the world of mess. I don't know if you realized that this week was interesting in the world of mess.
I mean, some people hit me up. It was like, it was nice that y'all was talking about, TikTok people and regular people last week, but where is the mess? I thought Joyhdae loves mess. I thought that's what she likes. And so they was in my DMs like, let her know, not next week. So I'm glad you got
Oh,
mess
we
for
got
them
mess
this
this
week.
week. We got mess this week. We got a lot of mess this week. I'm not going to start with the big mess because I feel like people expect me to start with. I'm going to put that in the middle so y'all listen to the whole goddamn episode.
Mm.
But our favorite Virgo queen, Miss Keke Palmer, I don't know if you saw, but she interviewed that girl, Bobby Altoff. I don't know how to say her last name.
Oh, right, right,
Um,
right. Yeah, I definitely saw this actually just a few hours ago. So go ahead. Go ahead.
This girl who came out of nowhere and has been interviewing rappers and Black people with the most mundane. She's basically trying to be the white woman version of Funny Marco, but it's not landing the same.
Right, 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 right.
And there was a little bit of kerfuffle in the last couple of months because she had Offset on the show and he kind of read her for filth. And people have
That's
put
so
her in Black spaces and she's looked uncomfortable and has kind of
right,
made it her shtick to be like, almost like she doesn't want to be there.
right, right.
Keke had her on her show and in true Virgo fashion, read her like the intelligent queen that she is. Keke asked her what everyone else wants to ask her. Is she an industry plant?
She said yes. And I was just like, uh-oh, your slip is showing. What's going on?
But see, here's the thing. I don't think she knows what a plant means. I think she thinks it means like a influencer. You know what I mean? Like she's
Mm,
why would you admit that, sis?
right,
But the
right.
kicker was Kiki was like, do you know what a plant is? And she was like, not really. And Kiki was basically like, a plant is basically somebody who has absolutely no talent, but has connections.
Mm.
How you gonna tell that girl that to her face? And the girl was just kind of like, okay. And then Kiki was basically like, because we have the same manager. And
And you've made it here and it's taken me 20 years. So
Kiki said,
like
you've been
what?
at this for 5 minutes and I've been doing this for 20 years. When I tell you there's nothing better than a Virgo, I don't care what y'all say. Y'all need
Oh,
us. Because only Kiki could say
too
something
good.
like that and have that girl in her face smiling, not understanding what she meant.
In her face.
Go right over that girl's head. Okay? Because she's like, Drake is in your bed. Then you have Offset, Little Yachty. So, like, where
Right,
did you come from? Because the
right.
people want to know.
They definitely, well, I don't think about her too much, but yes, I did see some of those interviews. I'm like, who the hell is this and where did she come from? Yes, that was the question.
So, we don't get through this without me having a mini rant. I need to explain to people that words mean things. Because you posted
That's
on
facts.
our YouTube shorts our little attack about Waka Flocka, in which we said we did not ask him to tweet at Donald Trump on our behalf. Again, the strangest of people have hives because Waka Flocka has a hive as well. Was like, he wasn't talking about you specifically bozos or something to that effect.
Right, right.
To which I say he signed it off Waka Flocka and the people.
And
I
the
don't know if
people,
y'all
yes.
know, but Ryan and I
I'm
happen to be
we are
people.
people. We are people.
Yeah, we're people. So when he said Waka Flocka and the people, he
Right.
inadvertently included us in that. And so we were well within our right to tell him not to speak on our behalf because we didn't ask him to. So
Yeah.
words mean things. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna need you to stay out the comments though, because these people, they are waiting. They want to rile us up. And for
They
me,
are.
listen, I'm not here for it and I don't care. It
I'm
is
not,
what it is. Keep poking the dragon and that's it. I don't really give a shit,
I
really, honestly.
when we first started, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be in the comments reading people for filth because I have my favorite thing that I like to tell people when they get on my nerve. And I'm
I
not
know
gonna
what
do
that
that.
is too.
Yes, you know
Yeah.
what it is. I love telling people that, okay? Because it hurts them to the core. I am not going to be in the comments responding to people directly, but I will have a little rant in a moment because they're not really worth the energy other than me telling them that y'all are stupid. You know what I mean? Like, and then moving on. So that's the most of the energy that they're going to give him. I just had to say that though, because the man signed it, Waka Flocka and the people, and we're people. I don't,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. I
um,
realize YouTube is a game, really, and people are
yeah.
looking to find reasons to poke.
Oh
and
yeah.
reasons to start some sort
Oh
of
yeah.
drama. While we are here, I said last week, we're here to bring the joy
That's
to
it.
people. There's people out here talking about how we are helping them with their lives. That's what I'm focused on. All right. That's
I
that's it.
Ryan's focused
Disclaimer.
on that. I'm focused on that too. But they're better people for y'all to have a hive around. And I just feel like a lot of y'all are really showing that you have an affinity for losers. But I
Mm.
digress.
Hmm.
Our good sis Kiki Palmer did what needed to be done.
That's
And
right.
I'm happy that it happened on her platform, because where did this girl come from and why were we giving her so much space in our community? Like, why were we giving her so much space? She didn't deserve it. Like, she hadn't earned it.
We
And
honestly were only giving this girl space because the people that we kind of care about gave her some time. Like, and who knows why they gave her some time? Because if they didn't, this wouldn't be a thing, you know? So,
yeah, I know some of y'all are questionable. Like, y'all have a lot of questionable tendencies because she's so bland.
yeah.
Moving on.
Hmm.
In news that I personally don't care about, but I guess congratulations are in order. Jess Hilarious is the new co-host of The Breakfast Club, and
Good
they
for
tried
her.
to make some controversy out of this.
I hate being played like a fiddle, you know? Like, I see these things all the time now, and it's just like, whatever. I'm not very enthused by it. She was calling them out. Then she didn't show up to the show. They was like, oh, we don't know who's going to be we said we was going to announce the person, but we don't know. And then randomly, big announcement, big video with all sorts of, like, I don't care. But good for her.
I
Enjoy.
mean,
Baltimore,
congratulations,
y'all up Baltimore. I don't know how they say
Baltimore.
that.
First of all, I love the Baltimore accent because I love
Facts.
you. I mean, like, if I could you, I love it. I love you.
Next
I
to
love
New
it.
Orleans,
Yeah, like it's
I
there. Like it's right there.
two of the best
I
accents.
I mean, I'm still not gonna listen or watch because I stopped a long time ago. But kudos to them and to her. Not my cup of tea. I personally am not a fan. I was a fan of hers when she first started. I thought she had some funny things. I think what introduced me to her was there were people who were saying, like, name a better trio than Kim Kardashian, Kourtney Kardashian, and the other one. I can't remember her name,
Chloe.
but that one. And she was naming all kinds of trios and groups, and it was hilarious. And I was like, okay, she's funny. And then as people start to come more and more into the limelight and they start to make their opinions known on things, she's not as
Yeah,
progressive as I would like my entertainers to be. And so I feel like she courts controversy in times when she doesn't need to court controversy.
right,
But kudos. I mean, it ain't doing anything for me. It's not like I'm gonna be like,
right.
oh my God, Jess Hilarious is the new co. The one thing I will say that I appreciate from her that I think Angela Yee lacked was that she's not going to be a bump on a log during interviews or when people say things. Like, she gives energy back.
Yeah,
I can't speak to her intelligence because I've never really seen her in a serious setting. So I don't know how she'll do in those more serious political, because the Breakfast Club also tries to be like our political commentary for the community. I don't know how she's going to do in those types of settings, but
right,
I do know
right.
that K
Well, you
Michelle
have
not going to get
Charlemagne
up
for that.
there. Yeah, but I feel like anyway, because I don't need the
Settle the set.
Charlemagne gang in my hitting us up either. But it'll be interesting to see how she performs in those situations, or if those happen to
Well,
be the days that she's not in studio. So,
a big election year, so we'll see what happens.
yeah. Speaking of actually randomly, Nimrata was on the Breakfast Club recently. And if y'all don't know who Nimrata is, that's Nikki Haley. That's her actual name. And
Really?
yeah, her name's Nimrata.
Oh,
Nimrata. Yes. And Nimrata was on the Breakfast Club because, of course, why not? And they started talking about racism. And your girl basically said that she voted for Donald Trump both times in the election because basically racism got worse under Obama.
is that right?
The Obama administration courted division because there was so much separation and too much focus on race and gender and all these other things.
No, that's not at all what happened. What happened was when Obama got elected, it was like, the cicadas, they come
Hmm.
out every so often.
They
And so
coming out
what
this
was
year, but continue.
they are, yes. But like when Obama got elected, they were like, "Oh, it's time. It's
Hmm.
time." And so they
Hmm.
woke up, and then when the next man came in, they were like, oh, it's time to start buzzing. That's what happened.
Mhm.
And that's
Mhm.
when all of this stuff occurred. Like before, we used to take our racism like in the closet. It used to be, it was there, but you couldn't see it, you couldn't hear it. It was just like a little
Mhm.
underlying thing.
Mhm.
After that man that Nimrata put in office, that's when they started piping up and taking us back decades. So I don't know.
I just want Nimrata to stop trying to tell us that racism in America is not a thing, because you walk around calling yourself Nicki. And you're not calling yourself Nicki because it's a family name. You're not.
Right.
You're calling yourself Nicki because you are a brown girl who grew up in a very racist town, and in order to make people feel comfortable around you,
Mm,
you gave yourself
mm,
an easily assimilated name. Let's
mm.
be for real, please, Nimrata.
Okay, my assimilated name was not my fault. Okay, I just want to say that right now. Yeah, like I didn't have any, I had no option here. But I always get an interview. I'm just saying, just saying.
And
This is the
before,
world we
because we're
live
gonna
in.
move on and get back to what we were talking about. Also, she said something along the lines of she didn't fit in with the black people and she didn't fit in with the white people. And that's because, Nimrata, you are neither one of those people. You are a brown girl, you are Indian, you are Asian. That is
Mm,
your community. So I'm not saying that those communities did not have to accept you, but please, let's not act like those are the only two communities that you should have been looking to for some sort of, I don't know, community with. You know what I mean?
right, right,
Like,
right,
you were not
right,
a black girl who faced racism in a white town. You are a
right,
brown woman who faced racism in a mostly white town that I'm pretty
right.
sure all of your black colleagues and classmates and all of that were facing as
As,
well.
as
Okay?
well, yes,
So let's
yes.
stop that conversation right
Right,
there. Okay?
right.
But
It doesn't
kudos,
matter really. She's not gonna be.
she's
She's
gonna
not gonna
be
make it past this month. I don't think, honestly.
I
But we'll
she's
see. They say
I
she's gonna keep
personally
going, but who knows?
I personally think she, which is probably a long shot to some people, but I feel like she's vying for that vice presidency.
All right, good for her.
But we're not going to get into that.
Good for her.
So anyway, kudos to Just Hilarious. I'm glad for her and her come up. I like
Wow,
seeing black women win, even if they're not my cup of tea of black women. So I'm silently rooting for her, but not really rooting for her because it is Black History Month, so we're going to keep it positive with the black
how
folk.
we swayed from Jess to Nimrata, I have no idea.
Because I
But
just saw a clip
continue.
of Nimrata, because I literally just saw a clip of Nimrata on the Breakfast Club talking about that, and I was just
Mm,
like, now,
mm-hmm,
Nimrata,
mm.
you literally call yourself Nicki. You don't even call yourself by your birth name. Like, let's not. All right. So Nicki Minaj needs a nap. That's
That
how I'm going to start.
long Negro spiritual sigh. That's
She
amazing.
needs, because you could tell I didn't want to go here. You could tell that I genuinely did not want to go here. But
Oh.
Nicki Minaj has given me no choice but to go here because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's happening. So last week, Megan Thee Stallion dropped a song called Hiss. In the song, she basically says that she is tired of people talking about her and she's just going to address everybody one by one in this song,
Mm-hmm.
in which she did.
Yeah.
Right after the song dropped, she called into the Breakfast Club, and she was in LA. So she called into the Breakfast Club hella early. So it had to be like 2 a.m. where she was at.
Right.
And they asked her verbatim, are you talking about anybody specifically? Megan said, hit dogs will holler. And when I tell you Nicki Minaj has not stopped hollering since this song has come out, Nicki Minaj has not stopped hollering since this song has come out. Okay. First, it was 72 hours straight of Nicki on Twitter, on her Instagram Live, just talking. Just talking. I used to speak
Was
gibberish.
she
I don't.
was she talking? Because I was like, all I heard was I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've been talking about this lady forever. But now the people, I think she lost a lot of the barbs
Oh,
this time
I mean,
around.
anyone with,
But
you would think, but we're going to get to that in a second. Because
mhm.
actually, before we even get to that and before we move further, I'm going to let y'all know this right now. The Barbs have been doxing people who they think have disrespected their queen. I press charges. Okay? I don't care what your future was supposed to look like. I press charges. Don't let Nicki be the one to fuck up your family's legacy this good Black History Month, because
Yikes.
I press charges. Okay.
Yikes.
And I mean, if you want to show up at my door, I have multiple locations where you can meet me at, and each one gets more dangerous. Pick your poison.
Yikes.
Just putting that out there because they were out here doxing people, but we will get into that.
Right.
Anyway, Nicki was out here, did not let up for a whole weekend and said she was going to drop a record. And she did.
She
and
did.
between
Fairly quickly.
me, you, and God, Nicki could have kept that. She could have kept that. She could have kept it.
I just don't understand because as a huge Beehive member and Beyonce fan, when you are at the top, there's no need for you to come all the way down a couple rungs to address everybody that's climbing all the way up to reach where you are, you know? Like, this doesn't make sense because if you're supposed to be at the top, then do that. Let the music speak for itself and just keep rising and shining. Like, just keep doing all of that. Like, it don't make sense. It really is tarnishing her record, and it's sad because she's a great rapper. Probably better than most of these rappers.
And that's the
I'll
part
just say
that's
rappers.
disappointing.
I'll just leave it as rappers because I don't want to say nothing crazy. But this is annoying to me. I don't particularly enjoy the person that is Nicki Minaj, but the music, she knows how to rap.
And that's the problem, right? Is like, why is nobody in her camp telling her that you are besmirching your legacy? Right?
She
Because
don't have no man.
she
She
has a
got
bunch of
all
yes
yes
people
men.
around
All
her.
yes men.
Even the Barbs. Y'all are doing her a disservice by letting her carry on the way that she's carrying on, and y'all putting batteries in her back because the music should speak for itself, right? And she should not be arguing with peons. She should not. And honestly, I don't care who you're a fan of, even if there's a girl on the come up, they are not Nicki Minaj.
Right.
None of these girls have yet to give us a verse as good as the Monster verse. None of these girls have done that. And that alone sets Nicki apart, right? To your point, when people speak on Beyonce's name and they speak about it in negative fashions, especially the other pop girlies, the other R&B girlies, Carrie Hilson, she did not address them directly, right?
Right.
She got on the
Right.
track and
Yeah.
she just keeps spitting her shit. She just keeps talking her shit. And you know who she's talking about.
That's it.
And that's what you need, right? That's what Nicki needs to be doing.
Right.
I'm not saying it's rap, right? We grew up in the time of Nas versus Jay-Z, Ether, and we grew up with, you know, Biggie and Tupac and No Vaseline. Like, there was all kinds of rap beef that we grew up in, right?
Right.
So yes, did I expect a response? I did. But I really wish she would have taken her time with her response to give us a real response and not this ABC response that she gave us where she rhymed the word foot with foot.
She's not. Oh, how do I explain this? She's a mean girl. I'll leave it at that. And it's like when every single person has exactly the same things to say about you, who's the problem here? She did this with Lil Kim. She did this with Remy Ma. She did this with my fave, Cardi B. She did Meg Thee Stallion. Did she have something also with who's the other
Lotto?
one?
She's picking on a
Lotto.
bunch of little girls.
It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? It's obvious that people are starving for the women in hip hop, and obviously, 2023 showed that women were ruling. So, wouldn't it be just great for all of them to come together, pull up some more women, and just make this thing the biggest thing it could be? Like, what is wrong with you?
How sick would a all-female rapper tour with Nicki Minaj as the headliner have been? Sick. Never going to happen. You know what I mean? And let's be real. When the only person in your group of henchmen, like the people who are holding her down at this point, are Akbar V, who, don't nobody know who she is. Sexy Red, again.
Until she got something to say about Sexy Red too.
You know what I mean? Like, we got to be for real about this. Now, bar for bar wise, I'm not going to hold you. Nothing Nicki said in her rap is going to beat that line about Megan's Law that Megan Thee Stallion mentioned.
Yikes.
Because that bar alone, 8.
Right.
That bar was with pinpoint precision.
Precision.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then to get on the internet and have people say, like, stop talking about my husband or my family. One, you just admitted that your husband, or you deal with people who are impacted by Megan's law. That's not a good look.
Plain and
It's
simple.
not a good
Especially when
look.
she didn't say no names. If you
She didn't say
said
no
nothing,
names.
she wasn't talking about me. I didn't. Who?
You didn't
Like
have to
Mariah
respond.
Carey? Like Mariah Carey? Who?
It,
That's all.
I don't know her. I don't know her. I don't know her.
Exactly.
That's all she had to
Exactly.
do. I don't know her. But you got on
So,
there was like talking about my family, escalated it to the point where she brought up Megan's dead mother,
which
to the point
at that
where,
point, come on.
yeah, automatic L, to the point where Barb's found where Megan's mother is buried, and were like, y'all know what to do, and they had to increase police presence around her mom's gravesite to be on the safe
Right.
side.
Right. Right.
I'm all about, listen, again, we grew up in the era of Ether, and I'm a Jay fan. Y'all know, if y'all
Yeah.
know me, y'all know how I feel about Jay-Z. Okay.
Right. Right.
Ether was, oh
A
my God.
problem. It was a
Like,
problem.
that song
It was
was,
a problem for every J fan,
it
for
was
sure.
it was a problem. Okay.
Right.
Well, I was like, my God, like, back then I wouldn't admit it because I was
But
gonna hold down till I
but at the
couldn't
same
breathe no more.
at the
But
same time, Nas is a Virgo, so it's to be
you know what I
understood.
mean?
It's to be
It was
understood.
expected. The greatness was expected in that song. Okay.
Right.
And it was disrespectful, right? Because like
Yeah.
even Jay's barbs at Nas was disrespect. Like he literally told
Yeah.
that man he was leaving condoms in his child's car seat. That is disrespectful. Okay, that is disrespectful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing is as disrespectful as talking about somebody's dead mother.
That is crazy. And you know what's even crazier? You see how you just spoke about Ether in 2024?
Yeah.
Nobody talking about this in
Or no,
2044. Nobody's
no,
talking about this in 2044.
no, no. And how I know Nicki don't have the right people in her corner is the cover art for Bigfoot, in my opinion, also let us know that Megan is a giant that's on your mind. Because why are you stepping in Bigfoot's footsteps?
With your tiny shoes. I get it. I get it. I get it. And she's called Meg the Stallion for a reason. She's a big girl. She got big feet.
And her feet are
And
not that big. Go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, Bigfoot. It's like if you saying you're trying to fit into somebody's shoes, all of these things, all these metaphors that you didn't quite put together, it's not really working.
It's
Go
not.
ahead.
It's
Go ahead.
not.
Enjoy.
I just want y'all to stop. If Nicki's gonna drop another response, which I don't even think Megan's gonna respond because it was such trash. And Nicki originally tried to be like, when the song dropped, it did numbers on the charts, to only then have Megan come on and break all kinds of records. 1 and 2 here, 1 and 2 there, and all
Right,
kinds of shit.
right.
She ain't talks about that. And then on the other side too, just recently, she was in, Joe Budden had a space on Elon Musk app, and she was in the room, and she basically tried to say that Megan was trying to use this situation to have a Rihanna moment, except Rihanna didn't use her situation for publicity.
Okay.
First of all, Megan wasn't even the person who spoke.
Right, right.
It was everybody else spoke.
Yeah.
And if you remember correctly, even to this day, Rihanna could not say anything because people were saying that she gave Chris Brown a STD. She was going through his phone and she hit him first. People was trying to justify
Because they
why
was,
that man put his hands on her to the point where she looked how she looked when those photos dropped. Okay, so let's not rewrite history. Everybody was
Yeah.
not like, oh my God, Rihanna. People was like, well, what she do? So let's not rewrite history. Okay.
Right, right.
But in the same breath, Megan was not the person who told. Okay.
Right.
Y'all need to realize that. Tory Lanez was going to jail regardless because he was a Canadian with a criminal record in America with a gun. Like he was just doing
Yeah.
illegal shit for fun. Let's be like, come on, y'all. Like,
Yeah.
but I want Nicki to give me a monster verse. I want Nicki to get in the booth and go back to being who she was, like the Nicki that you may not like her as a person, but as an artist, you would be like, I gotta respect it. Because right now, what she gave us, I can't respect.
Right. Yeah, Megan is not going to respond. She's just going to continue to strive and get bigger and bigger and bigger. She's Rock Nation management, so she got Jay in the ear, and they are famous for not saying anything and just speaking with accolades and music. So I can't wait to see what Meg does. It is what it is.
Last
It is
thing
what it is.
too, she's apparently set her sights on Rock Nation. And she's set her sight on Desiree Perez, who, if y'all know who Desiree Perez is, she is the CEO of Rock Nation. And she alleges that in her next round, she's going to be dropping information on people that Desiree has fired for absolutely no reason or for wrongful termination or whatever.
Good for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, girl.
Okay. Good for that. You saw how Megan, I think she had a concert around the same time that this thing came out, and she came out to that song, I'm her. She
While
it was
Nicki was
amazing.
spiraling on
Amazing.
Twitter for like 12 hours straight, no sleep, Megan was at a party grinding on Victoria Monet, like having the time of her life.
Having a
So
good time.
she's not bothered. Moving on.
Yeah.
So Shannon Sharpe is just determined to take massive L's this year. And I don't know if it's because he don't like the name of, Club Shay Shay. I don't know what it is. But he's determined to just keep his affinity for losers and backing things that are just not worth it. And I say that because on his show that he has with Ocho Cinco called Nightcap, he fixed his mouth to say that Taylor Swift has a greater impact than Beyonce when it comes to younger audiences.
Okay.
And how the NFL wants Taylor Swift to do a Super Bowl halftime show, which they do. Not going to deny that.
Right.
But basically said that Taylor Swift is the closest thing to moving the needle like Michael Jackson that we've seen. Now listen. Listen, okay? I am not a Swiftie.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift is not my ministry. I'm not going to knock her. Success is success, okay? I'm a girl's girl. She's not my cup of tea, but I'm not going to say that girl does not do what she got to do. Y'all got to stop trying to compare people to Michael Jackson. Okay? Y'all have got to stop comparing people to Michael Jackson. And this is me even as a Beyonce fan. Nobody that exists today as an entertainer is moving the needle like Michael Joseph Jackson.
Right.
Nobody.
Right.
Michael Joseph Jackson at the age of 52 years old could not go anywhere. Okay? He could not.
Yeah. We live in a different time though. Everything is different. Like like they say comparison is what? The thief of joy. Like y'all got to, as you said last week, y'all got to get it together. Like that's it's like, okay, Michael did what Michael did. Beyonce is doing what Beyonce is doing. Taylor is doing what Taylor is doing. Like you, I say Taylor is not my cup of tea, but Taylor is doing her thing. The difference here is we have to talk about the demographic. We're not talking about the same thing here. Like
we're not.
Taylor is a different person. And how do I want to say
Michael
this?
Jackson
Taylor's
was a
white.
multicultural I'm gonna
Taylor's
say
white, right?
Okay, because you was trying to put around the goddamn
okay,
bush.
Taylor's white. Taylor's
Mm-hmm.
white. We live in a majority white country, and Taylor appeals to a whole bunch of people. Was Michael moving the needle when Michael was black? Yes. Or did he move the needle the way that everybody's talking about when he slowly transitioned?
Now, Michael been moving that needle. Listen, Michael was moving that needle from the Jackson 5 on. Like, let's be for real. We're talking about a time when all of the technology that we have now doesn't exist, and things were getting spread by word of mouth. The impact Taylor Swift can go to a football game. If Michael Joseph Jackson were alive in his prime, there would be no football game. Do you get what I'm saying? There's a difference.
I get it's so the why I say we live in a different time was because we didn't have the same amount of access as we do now. So people had to get their thrills or whatever, however they can get it when they can get it. And so right now you can see Taylor Swift 24/7 in some shape, form, whatever. Same thing for Beyonce, same thing for any artist out there. However you want to consume them, you can consume them. So that same sort of fandom is not the same. And I don't care what you say, Joyhdae, Michael was building, 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 building. At the height of his career, he did not look like Michael of Jackson 5. I'm just
No,
saying,
I
like,
mean, light-skinned Michael
that's a
Jackson, in the
fact.
words of, light-skinned Michael Jackson was light-skinned Michael Jackson. He was still a black man. He was light-skinned, but he was still a black man. But what I'm saying is, never in our lifetime have we had somebody like, think about this. Michael Joseph Jackson, which Virgo, was
Come
doing
on.
his thing from the age of, I don't remember how old he was when the Jackson 5
I think it was
started.
5. I think it was like
So
around
think
that age.
about that. Think about being 5 years old and keeping that trajectory for not one decade, not two
Yeah.
decades.
Right.
Nobody is doing that. And when I
Right.
say his star power in those decades never diminished, from Black Michael to White Michael, that star power never diminished. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
there's a whole play. Like, yes, people will use Taylor Swift songs to create lyrics about, for a Broadway show and be like, haha, Taylor Swift's music, inspired by Taylor Swift. Michael Jackson has plays and things dedicated to him. Yes, there's white women walking around here cosplaying as Taylor Swift. Michael Jackson has people to this day who are not just cosplay, they're living their lives as though they are Michael
Yeah.
Joseph Jackson.
Yeah.
Nobody is doing that. So we
Yeah.
got to stop trying to compare people to Michael Joseph Jackson, period.
Right.
Beyonce is different. Taylor is
Virgo.
different. Different. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like, they're just two
different.
different beasts.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like, they really would not. I mean, I guess in a few categories they would cross, but like the music is not even the same. Like, at the end of the day, like I was telling y'all earlier in the group chat, like Taylor is a monster when it comes to writing these pop records. She understands the formula, she knows what to do, and she does it well and all of that. And it appeals to middle America. It appeals to the majority of what America is. And so obviously her numbers are going to be big, right? Beyonce got to the point where she no longer cared about what people thought. And so now she's making music that speaks to her soul. And it is also speaking to our soul. That's what Beyonce has, soul. I can't say that I felt anything in my soul anytime I've ever heard a Taylor Swift song. I can't say that. Other people,
Listen,
maybe. I don't know. Michael, same thing. People were passing out. They had to have a line of gurneys at his concerts to wheel people out of these concerts. Like, they done spent all their money to go and pass out at this man's concert. This is not happening at these concerts these
at
days.
all. At
So
all. That's what I'm saying. Like,
let's not
Michael
compare
Joseph
any of them,
Jackson, there would
really.
have been no football game. If Michael Jackson had shown up to a football game in an arena, there would
Right,
be no football game happening.
right,
I don't
right.
care where the suite is. Y'all would have to fly his ass in a helicopter above
Yeah,
hovering for
yeah.
him to enjoy the football game. Do you get what I'm saying? It wasn't
Beyonce
just
got people
this
to
different.
mute. Beyonce got people to mute, right? That was a whole big thing this past summer. Michael came up on the stage and mute himself for 13 minutes or how much ever minutes. And these people did not stop. Like, it was just like pandemonium for him doing absolutely nothing.
Y'all just
All
gotta
right.
stop equating the excitement of 13-year-old girls to everyone else. Do you know what I mean? Because that is
Right.
the majority of Taylor Swift's audience is a bunch of 13-year-old girls. And nothing wrong with that, because they spending the money, right?
Yeah.
I'm not knocking it.
Yeah.
But there are
Yeah.
differences to it. You know what I mean?
And the reason
She is not moving the needle like Michael Jackson. She's not close to it.
she's moving a needle.
She's moving a needle.
She's moving a needle. And the reason why is like exactly for what you said. Taylor Swift is younger than Beyonce. Taylor Swift has younger fans than Beyonce. Those are the people that are on the internet doing all the streaming, doing all the things, that have time for pandemonium fandom. Beyonce's fans are our age. We have jobs and
I'm
children
old.
and mortgages and things to do. Like,
Listen,
you
I'm old.
understand?
Okay.
So it's
When I
just
tell
different.
you,
Everything is different.
I left the concert and went home. There was no after party. Okay. I went home. I went to sleep. I took the next day off from work. Why? Because I knew I needed to recuperate. Okay. I'm old.
Come on. Come on.
Okay. So
Come on.
I just want people like Shannon Sharpe, who, in my personal opinion, always has something to say about Black women that's never really on the like good side. Stop it. Okay. Stop it.
I mean, I pray that we never get to this point when we do get big. Like, he's riding off the coattails of Cat Williams, yet another Virgo that brought the numbers, and so now he got to be even more controversial and just keep that thing rolling. And I get the reasoning for that. I just never want to be that. I just want
Me
to do the
either.
things that I like. That's it.
Me
That's
too.
it. You know,
Me
it is what
too.
it is. Yeah.
Why was y'all trauma dumping on poor Elmo? Huh? Poor Elmo was out here just trying to be everybody's favorite Muppet. And y'all was out here just trauma dumping on my poor monster. Why? Elmo asked y'all a simple question. Okay?
How y'all
Elmo
doing?
said, how is everybody doing today? And my God, did y'all
Come on.
let poor Elmo have it? Elmo did not need y'all telling him about what was really going on. Y'all could have just said, fine, Elmo. Could be
Elmo
better.
Elmo is a 3.5-year-old therapist. Like, I just didn't know that existed until this week. I didn't know it could be a thing.
Elmo did not ask for whatever it was y'all was giving him. Okay? Elmo said, how's everybody doing today? Y'all telling him, are we on the verge of World War III, Elmo? What you think? I done lost my job today, Elmo. Like, and I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just need somebody to talk to.
Right.
But y'all trauma dumped so bad on poor Elmo that Sesame Street had to get in there and be like, hey,
Give y'all some links and stuff.
here's some resources. Because seems like everybody's having a rough time.
Rough time. Like, I mean, we are in the dumps. I don't care what these old men or all these old people are telling us. Oh, the economy is doing great. Everything is just working out so well, and everything, we've recovered so well from the pandemic. Meanwhile, we got genocide going on over here. We got people losing their jobs over there. Like, people in horrible mental health. Like, what are we talking about? Like, it's obvious in a simple tweet. Like, I mean,
Elmo said, how are y'all doing? And I don't think Elmo has recovered since. Then poor Elmo had to come back and say, well, this just lets Elmo know that you got to check in on your friends more frequently. Elmo is 3 years old. His op is a rock named Rocco. Leave Elmo alone. He got enough beef already. Okay.
Yo,
It got
did
so
you see
bad
that video?
that Cookie Monster, we don't talk about that. Cookie Monster, who don't like nobody, was like, I can't help y'all emotionally, but I got cookies. Oscar the Grouch was like, yo, like, and maybe the dump's happening, but you know, I got space for y'all down here too. Y'all,
Right.
Elmo's a baby, y'all, and y'all trauma dumped on that baby.
Poor Elmo.
Okay.
Poor Elmo. Elmo
Now
was
to
like,
Elmo's op, Rocco. When I tell you, I don't even like Rocco myself because Elmo's not wrong. Rocco is a rock.
Elmo was like, it's a rock. It had no feelings. Like, I'm not gonna hurt the rock's feelings. Like, what are
First
you
of
talking
all,
about?
because I had to do some diving, right? Because I'm like, why Elmo got so much smoke for this rock? I understand. So for y'all who don't know, because I'm getting into it, Elmo's friend Zoe has a pet rock named Rocco. Okay. One day, Zoe pulls up at Rocco and it's like, Rocco want to play. And Elmo's like, play what? Because he's a rock. Okay. And Zoe's like, don't say that about Rocco. He's my friend. And
Right.
Elmo's like, again, this is a rock, Zoe.
A rock.
Okay. Then they had cookies, right? Elmo wanted the oatmeal cookie. Zoe gonna talk about that's Rocco's favorite cookie. Elmo said, Rocco can't eat the cookie because he is a rock. Y'all gonna stop trying to gaslight my man Elmo. Okay, stop trying to gaslight Elmo's 3. He's not gonna let y'all gaslight him.
One thing I'm gonna tell you about children is they need facts. They not living in anything that's not factual. You told me these are the rules to the world. Don't come at me with nonsense. Like, this don't make sense. Children are amazing in that way.
Elmo's not wrong. Rocco is a rock. Stop trying to give Rocco feelings. Rocco is a rock. He don't feel nothing. Okay. And then Elmo gets interviewed on TV and y'all asking him about Rocco. He is a rock. Elmo's not wrong. Okay. I don't care what nobody say. Elmo's not wrong. Okay. Anyway,
man.
Stop trauma dumping on Elmo. He got enough problems with his op Rocco just popping up all over the place.
Did you see the scene when the dog came and stole the rock and he was like, oh gosh, here I go. I gotta go find this rock now. Like, he's the slowest stroll to get this rock back from the dog. Yo, Elmo is black. I don't care what y'all say. Elmo's black.
Elmo's most definitely a black child. Okay, because he be like, "What do you mean? Rocco is a rock. That is a black baby." Okay, I don't care what nobody says.
So funny. So
Anyway, y'all
funny.
trauma dumped on Elmo, and now PBS and Sesame Street then gave us a whole bunch of resources. Y'all should check them out if you need some emotional awareness and some
Right.
emotional help, because
Right. Yeah.
y'all trauma dumped on a puppet.
I mean, it's very rare that I say that social media is mirroring actual reality, but like I think y'all need to take heed. Like we are not okay.
We're not.
As a
No,
as a
we're
people,
not.
we are not okay.
We are not okay,
Oh,
as evidenced by Elmo. You know who else is not okay? And this
who?
is literally just happening. We was just talking about Keith Lee, right?
Uh-huh.
And you know, Keith Lee, I think he's probably one of my favorite influencers that I follow on social media because I think he's doing great work.
Yeah, he is.
So just recently, he was in Texas, Dallas, and he did a review of a food truck called Sweetly Seasoned. Okay. And there's no menu. He went with his daughter, his wife. You know, they do the family food tour.
Right.
He goes to this food truck. He gives them a good review. He leaves a $4,000 tip, like he always does, for the food truck owner.
Where does money comes from? Where does I know these people be making money, but damn, like I mean, good for him. Good
Keith
for
is
them.
raking in it. So he left $4,000 for the food truck, a tip, and then he told the woman to designate $1,000 for a woman who was out there doing braids and $1,000 to a barber who was cutting hair outside the food truck. Okay. And then the rest of the money goes to her. Right.
Okay.
And then he also left additional money to pay for 300 customers.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
Come to find out, the owner of the food truck, Sweetly Seasoned, did none of that. She kept all the money to herself. Served like one or two people free
real
food.
Trash.
And
That's
then
real trash.
started charging people almost immediately after Keith Lee left.
Wow.
Now, if there's one thing the internet does not play about, that is Keith Amari Lee. I don't know if his middle name is Amari. I just feel like it goes. So we're going to run with it. Okay. Keith Amari Lee is, I think, one of the most protected men.
Yeah.
On
and he don't even need it.
And he don't need it. He don't need it. But we don't play about our cousin Keith. Okay.
Right.
Keith Amari don't do no wrong. If you come at Keith, you better have all your facts straight, because we're gonna come at you with guns blazing. We're ready. Okay. We hold down cousin Keith. So it became evident that this woman kept the money. And her thing is that the people that worked outside the food truck, like the barber and the hair braid, had nothing to do with the food truck. They don't work for her.
Okay.
That's not what that man said. That man didn't say they had to work for you. That man said that tip was for them. But I digress.
Right.
She also said, I guess he assumed that, because I think it were two younger, like it was a younger black woman and a younger black man. So he assumed that those were her kids. And she was like, those aren't my kids, or those are my son's friends, or something to that effect. Again, he did not stipulate that they had to be your kids. He said to give that money to that barber and that hair braider. And he also paid for free food for 300 people.
Right.
So now she's online trying to, this is the downside of the Keith Lee effect, right? Because Keith Lee told you what to do. You didn't do it. And now you're getting bad press because everybody knows that you are not doing what you were supposed to be doing with that money.
Right. Karma's coming for her. Her. And, it's sad because the money that you were going to give away was going to come back to you multiple times, 100-fold, whatever it is. Like, I hate that. Because it's like, if Keith Lee never showed up to your food cart, you was going to make whatever you was going to make, and that was that. But who gets a $4,000 tip? Like, this is not regular thing. And this $4,000 tip was literally probably worth $100,000. Who knows? Like, I hate that. I really, really hate that.
Because what happens is
don't play with charity. Don't play with charity.
You don't.
That's crazy.
You know what happens is he posts about it. He says he left money for people. So people are gonna come and be like, boom. Like, that's how you get those lines, right? And then people taste your food, it's hit, miss, whatever. So you got that free publicity, money, and then the opportunity to make more money, and you've just squandered it because you wanted to be greedy.
Yeah. That's
her karma's happening because I guess apparently she opened up somewhere and she was like, well, Not a lot of people, yes, because you're a thief and people are not going to support thievery. And
Right.
you stole from that man who had all
Yeah.
intentions of highlighting your business and doing
Right.
good things for you and your business and your
Right.
community. And this is what
Right.
you chose to do.
Yeah. And honestly, that I never saw this video, but like that hair braider and that barber and all that was probably adding to the vibes of your spot. And y'all was basically probably having a little symbiosis going on. And so for you to not even care about your neighbors, that's crazy. That's great. You got to see these same people tomorrow. Like, what is wrong with you?
Because honestly, how smart is that, right? Especially for a hair braider. I'm not a man. I've never been to I used to take my little cousin to a barber, but it was quick in. Had an appointment, give him what he need, be out. Getting your hair
Right.
braided takes hours. You be sitting there hungry. So if I'm getting my hair braided and there's a food truck, you best believe I'm feeding myself and my braider. So why would you not keep good vibes with that person?
Right. Yeah. That's big trash. She gonna get what's coming to her. But
Yeah.
I mean, I
So,
love what you're doing, Keith Lee. Keep doing it. Don't be discouraged. Keep blessing these people. And obviously you'll
if you want to
continue to be
come,
blessed as well.
bring the Keith Lee effect to this good old podcast, you're always invited. Always invited.
I could
We don't even know what your sign
chef up
is.
a little bit of something.
You
I
know
could
what I
chef
mean?
up a little
I can
something.
chef up a little bit of something. I know you don't like sweets and you don't like too much salt. I got you. If you want to come drop that Keith Lee effect over here,
Right.
I'm not mad at you. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
What do you call a bear with a t-shirt on?
Oh God. What do you call a bear with a t-shirt on, Joyhdae?
T Grizzly.
Oh, jeez. All right. What do you call the wife of a hippie?
Oh God. I feel like you did this. Is it Peggy? Or did I say
Mississippi.
Peggy? Oh God, you did do this one, and I said Peggy the last time too. I promise you, I said Peggy the last time you said this.
This-
Yo, I'm gonna find the episode where you originally did that, because I promise you, like,
oh
that's my
man.
answer. It was the exact same thing. Okay.
What do deadbeat dads and autumn have in common?
Deadbeat dads in autumn. They fall on the beat.
They leaves. Dark.
Yeah. There was once a king who was 12 inches tall. Terrible king, but a great ruler.
I cannot. Oh man. All right. What do you call a woman standing in the middle of a tennis court?
I don't even want to know.
A net.
You know what? I know somebody named Annette too, and I'm mad.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
I'm mad that didn't even dawn on me. Did you know that diarrhea is hereditary?
No.
Want to know why?
Why?
Because it runs in genes.
Virgo Season Show at gmail.com is the email address. I told y'all to send us new jokes. I didn't get no new jokes in my DMs this week, so I'm struggling this week. And so is she, obviously. So Joyhdae just changed her handles, so it's just at Joyhdae now. So send her some, send me some. And I'm
a one-name icon now.
Send me emails. I'll read those and get back to y'all. All right.
It runs in genes, cracks me up. You can also follow us on all our social at Virgo Season. We're on TikTok, Instagram, what's the other one? Oh, and YouTube. So you can follow us there. Whew, it runs in genes, yo. That tickled me.
Yikes, man. What's the difference between a vagina and weed?
Oh, God. My answer was going to be inappropriate, so I'm not going to say it. What?
If you can smell marijuana from across the room, it's good weed.
Get off my... Virgo Season Show. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh my God. Okay. All right. This one is corny, but I'm gonna say it anyway. What kind of
Okay.
dog lives in a toilet?
I don't know.
It's two possible answers, but I'm gonna give this one. A cocker spaniel. It was either a cocker spaniel or a poodle, but I like cocker spaniel better.
But poodle is make poodle. Okay, bye. Virgo Season